Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Bruce Barnhart, Acting Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs for California University of Pennsylvania. It's my pleasure to welcome you to California's annual Honors Convocation. At this time, I'm going to introduce the members of the platform party here with us today. I would ask that you, the audience, hold your applause until everyone is introduced. Dr. Stephen Whitehead, Associate Provost for Innovation. Dr. Bill Edmonds, Dean of Admissions. Douglas Hoover, Dean of Library Services. Dr. John Callis, Dean, College of Eberly, the Eberly College of Science and Technology. Dr. Mohammed Yamba, Dean, College of Liberal Arts. Dr. Kevin Corey, Dean, College of Education and Human Services. Dr. Stanley Kamasic, Dean and Associate Provost, School of Graduate Studies and Research. Craig Butzine, Vice President for Marketing and University Relations. Robert Thorne, Vice President for Administration and Finance. Dr. Nancy Pinardi, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Kimberly Vanderland, Assistant Professor, Department of English, and today's Mace Bearer. Dr. Mark Awney, Professor, Department of English, and Director of the university's Honors Program, and today's Herald. Kembia Munsanje, 2015 Presidential Scholar and Student Member, Council of Trustees. Commissioner Larry Maggi, Washington County, Class of 1979 and Chair of the Council of Trustees. Beth Bershock, Class of 1984, today's guest speaker. Geraldine M. Jones, Interim University President, California University of Pennsylvania. Also at this time, and seated with us on stage, I would like to recognize the members of our faculty who were honored by the Presidential Distinguished Merit Awards Committee for their outstanding achievements in teaching, research, and service. And I'll ask each faculty member to please rise and be recognized when their name is announced. Unable to join us today because of an academic commitment at Indiana University is the Presidential Distinguished Merit Award for Excellence in Teaching that's presented to Dr. Sarah Meese, Associate Professor, Department of Biological and Environmental Sciences. The Presidential Distinguished Merit Award for Excellence in Service is presented to Dr. Kurt Kircher, Associate Professor, Department of English. The Presidential Distinguished Merit Award for Excellence in Research is presented to Dr. Clarissa Confer, Associate Professor, Department of History and Political Science.
Good afternoon, and welcome to California University of Pennsylvania's Honors Convocation. We're gathered here today to recognize California University's very best student scholars for their academic achievements, and I congratulate each of you, our presidential scholars, on your accomplishments. I also welcome the family and friends of our scholars. Your support has contributed to their success, and I am so pleased that you could join us today. In addition, I congratulate the amazing faculty scholars who, as Provost Barnhart has announced, are this year's recipients of the Presidential Distinguished Merit Awards for Excellence in the areas of teaching, service, and research. Dr. Sarah Meese, Dr. Kurt Kircher, and Dr. Clarissa Confer. I truly thank you for the wonderful, important work that you do here at Cal U. Congratulations. Presidential scholars, your diligence and your work ethic have led you to this special gathering. And today, we celebrate your academic achievements. And I am sure that you have learned many lessons up to this point, and you have and will learn many more. As I am certain your parents and loved ones have advised you from time to time, things will go smoothly in your life most of the time, and you will enjoy successes and achievements and celebrations such as this Honors Convocation. But as I'm sure you have also been told, sometimes this will not be the case. You may experience setbacks even in the remainder of your academic career here at Cal U, as well as later in life. That may be hard for you to hear. After all, you are accustomed to doing well. But please understand that any setback, any roadblock can be a great lesson for you, and I encourage you to use those moments as opportunities for learning and positive change. Many famous individuals, people we admire, didn't have stellar academic records. Some started with limited prospects. Others faced terrific challenges, but they persevered. We all know Albert Einstein as the most influential physicist of the 20th century, winning the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. When we study his special and general theories of relativity, we may think that everything, including his work, came easily to him. After all, the name Einstein is now synonymous with genius. But young Albert Einstein struggled in school. He also experienced a speech difficulty. He had a slow cadence to his speaking voice, where he'd pause in order to consider what to say next. None of this stopped him. He became interested in research and experiments when a medical student gave him a children's science book, and he wrote his first scientific paper at age 16. When his family had to move to Zurich, Switzerland, Einstein stayed behind in Germany to finish his education. Even that wasn't easy. He became concerned about having to face military duty when he became of age, so he withdrew from school. Basically, became a dropout and joined his parents. But when he applied to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, he failed much of the entrance exam. Only his exceptional marks in mathematics and physics led him to finish his formal education. Schoolwork still did not come easily to Einstein, yet he kept at it. And as we all know, his research and writings altered the course of modern physics and brought him worldwide attention. Einstein worked hard, and he never gave up. And ultimately, he changed the way we think about our world. Why am I telling you about Albert Einstein? It's because I want to encourage all of our students here today, our best and brightest, to welcome the roadblocks and setbacks that life brings, as well as the satisfying moments of success. Experience them all, good and bad, and you will grow in maturity, judgment, and wisdom. Scholars, you have the knowledge and talent to achieve incredible things. If you can realize the full measure of your abilities, you will change the lives of the people around you, and I have no doubt that you will change things for the better. Please know that you make the faculty, staff, administrators, and alumni very proud of you here at CalU, and we know you will continue to do so. I look forward to congratulating each of you personally as your name is called and you come on to this stage. At that time, you will receive a pin inscribed with the words, Presidential Scholar, which I encourage you to wear on your commencement day. In conclusion, I cordially invite everyone gathered here this afternoon to join us for light refreshments after today's event. Again, Presidential Scholars, congratulations. Thank you.
Built visions on ground we viewed. We dreamt of justice and all men renewed. All people equal in all things. We once were heroes, once were kings. But all great things must come to pass. We know the first will soon be last, and in the ground we may be laid, but a seed is sown to rise again. So we walk proudly and we walk strong, all together we will go as one. The ground is empty and cold as hell, but we all go together when we go. We saw a land where wealth was shared, each pain revealed, each hunger shared, each man revered, each tyrant killed, each man redeemed, each life fulfilled. From each man's means to meet his needs, we saw a time man would be free. We fought for all the things we saw, the battles lost but not the war. So we walk proudly and we walk
Beth Bershock, class of 1984, has enjoyed a distinguished career in both radio and marketing since she graduated from California University of Pennsylvania with a degree in speech communications, radio, and television. Her 26-year career in radio includes serving as co-host and producer of the Gary and Beth in the Morning Show on Light Rock 92.9 FM from 1990 through 2008. The Pittsburgh Radio and Television Club honored her as the Best Pittsburgh On-Air Personality in 2005. From radio, Bershock transitioned into a career in professional services marketing and practice development, taking on the role of marketing director for a boutique law firm. Currently, she is regional marketing director for Herbine and Company Incorporated, a certified public accounting firm with more than 175 employees and 7 offices across Pennsylvania. Bershock oversees the marketing and practice development efforts for the firm's Pittsburgh, Greensburg, and Allison Park offices. Bershock enjoys living and working in downtown Pittsburgh, where she serves as chair of both the Pittsburgh Athena Award Committee and the Public Relations Committee for the Pittsburgh chapter of the Professional Services Marketing Association. She is also a member of the Association of Accounting Marketing, the Pittsburgh Symphony's Soiree Committee, and the Center for Victims Golf Committee. She and her husband, Tom Bakaitis, class of 1983, have endowed the Bakaitis Scholarship at California University of Pennsylvania. Please join me in welcoming today's guest speaker, Beth Bershock.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here today. It is truly my privilege to be speaking at the CalU Honors Convocation today. First of all, congratulations to the honorees, because I know the kind of hard work it takes to get to this point, so congrats on that. Congrats also to your family and friends. Welcome to CalU faculty and staff. And I would like to give a special shout out to someone who is, I'm getting choked up because she's my favorite professor of all time. Dr. Marcy Blount. I didn't think I was going to get choked up when I said that about you. So I was a speech major, and I can say that she was my favorite professor of all time because at this point it's not sucking up because she can't give me grades anymore. But she used to have this system where when she would grade you, she would sit in the back of the room with a tablet, and you couldn't tell, she would have no expression on her face, but she would have a red pen, and you could tell how things were going by how fast the red pen moved. So if it was really fast and furious, you knew it wasn't going well. So you can get out your red pen, but this is going to be a speech where you don't get to give me a grade. So a special welcome to Dr. Blount. Hey, 400 of honorees today, that is just awesome. And I know that many of you in the audience today, you have a plan. You're getting ready to graduate, and you have a plan in front of you. Some plans might be very specific. Some of you might be thinking, okay, I'm going to go to grad school. Some of you might be thinking, I have a job lined up, this is great. Some of you may even have your whole career trajectory planned out in front of you. But I am here today to tell you that if you think the plan that you have lined up in front of you is going to work out exactly the way you think it is, very unlikely. And that is why my message for you today is to expect change. Expect change and be ready for it. So I want to take a few minutes. I'm going to take you through the changes that happened in my industry, which, as you heard, was radio. I want to take you through the changes that happened to my job specifically, and then I have some tips for you. I have some tips for you on how I believe anybody can get ready for change. So let's start when I was sitting in that seat. I was here, in fact, it was the only other time I was at the CalU Honors Convocation. I was a student here at Cal. Getting ready to graduate, I was all excited, and of course I had a plan. So I was working at the time in radio. I worked my last 2 years, my junior and senior year, as a student. I was working locally at a radio station that was in Charleroi at the time, and it was called WESA. So I had a part-time job in radio, and my plan at the time was that I will get a full-time job in radio. And then from there, I thought, okay, the next part of my plan is I am going to get a better full-time job in radio, and then I'm going to get a better full-time job in radio. And eventually I ended up as part of the morning team, Gary and Beth in the morning, Light Rock 92.9. We did that show for 18 years, which is an amazing length of time in radio. I can tell you one thing I did not plan on when I was sitting in the seat that you're sitting in. I did not plan that I would be writing articles with titles like, "What does the last-minute tax extender deal mean for you?" or "How every business can learn from the downturn in energy prices." But guess what? Those are two articles that I wrote recently in my current job, and my current job is I am a regional marketing director for a professional services marketing firm, a CPA firm, certified public accountants called Herbine and Company, and I handle 3 offices in Western PA, Pittsburgh, Greensburg, and Allison Park. So you may be thinking, well, how did you get from radio talent to professional services marketing? And that's part of the story. Part of the story starts with change that was not expected. So the change in the radio industry, when I started, it was in the early 1980s, and at that time, every radio station had an individual owner. So if you were in a market like Pittsburgh, you would have 15, 20 different owners. And also at that time, every single show was live. There was always somebody in the studio live. Well, in the mid-1990s, a couple of things happened that really started to change the industry. And the first thing that happened was something called the Telecommunications Act of 1996. The Telecommunications Act of 1996 covered a lot of ground, but one of the things it covered was it lifted the cap on radio ownership. So in any given market now, one owner could own multiple stations. And that's when the big media conglomerates were able to form, the ones that owned a couple of hundred stations across the country. Well, that allowed a lot of changes, and at the same time that was happening, another change came in, and that was digital technology. So those two things combined at roughly the same time, what happened was, now owners who own stations across the country, they thought it was a great idea. They could eliminate live positions because now digital technology was available to do that. So you could voice track shows. You could have shows running at the same time in different cities. So if you had a morning show in New York, you could play it in Philadelphia, you could play it in Miami, you could play it in Kansas City, you could play it in Chicago, and you only had to hire one person. So those changes really reduced staff. They also ended up switching salary jobs into hourly jobs, and they also took away the decision-making process locally. So when I first started in radio, there were jobs like general manager, music director, promotions director, production director, and all of those decisions were made locally by those people. When all of those changes happened, it was a couple of people, a couple of consultants making decisions for dozens of stations across the country. So those were changes I was not enjoying. And then in 2008, and as a matter of fact, this is the anniversary, this is the week it happened, all of us were fired. Everybody was fired on air, not the behind-the-scenes people. Every on-air person was fired, full-time and part-time. And so I took a step back and I thought, well, maybe this is time to make a change. So I want you to think for a second about the industry that you're about to get in. All of you had a major, whatever it was, education, technology, environmental sciences, whatever your major was. Think about the way the industry looks right now. Now fast forward 10 years, and I can guarantee you the industry is not going to look the same. Fast forward 20 years, and it may look unrecognizable to you. That's why I say you should expect change, get ready for it. There was a blurb in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette earlier this week from the CEO of Heinz, and you know about the big Heinz-Kraft merger. Well, the CEO of Heinz produced a video internally to show to Kraft employees. And one of the things that he said in the video was, change is never easy. So think about that. That's a situation where the job, the company's changed. You have Heinz, who has been around for almost 130 years in Pittsburgh. People working there probably thought they were set. Now they don't know, do they have a job? Is the headquarters going to stay here? Is my department going to be eliminated? Those people have to get ready for some change. Now, I know there are people that are sitting here thinking, yeah, okay, but you can't figure out what the changes are going to be. Who knows? So why even bother to be prepared for it? I beg to differ. I think there are some things that you can be doing your entire career that will help you not only prepare for change, but perhaps you will be the change agent. Perhaps you'll get to a point in your career where you think, I'm ready to make a change, and you'll be prepared. I have 4 tips for you on getting ready for change. Tip number 1, assess your strengths and weaknesses. But here's the key to this exercise. You have to be honest with yourself. Many people do this exercise and they're frankly not honest. So if you get to the end of this exercise and you don't have anything in the weaknesses category, you need to go back, start over, do it again, because you missed something. Because nobody is good at everything, and it's just as important to be aware of what you're not good at. So I did this exercise, and I thought, okay, well, you know, what am I really good at? I've only ever worked in radio. What am I going to do? So I thought, well, okay, first of all, I'm a good communicator. I have good writing skills. I'm really good at building relationships with clients that last a long time. And I also just tangentially, I had some event planning skills because I did that as part of the morning show. So I thought, well, what does that sound like? That sounds like marketing. So maybe I should look at getting a marketing job. To be honest with you, I never thought it would be professional services marketing. I thought maybe I'd end up in brand marketing, product marketing, maybe the arts industry. But 3 months after my job ended, I ended up at a boutique law firm, and that lasted about 18 months. I was their marketing director, and then I went to work for the CPA firm. Now, I also know that I have weaknesses as well. So one of the top things that I realized about myself was, if you are looking for someone to do nitty-gritty detail and record it like beautifully in an Excel spreadsheet, I am not the candidate for that. And my work has finally realized that as well. One of my responsibilities in my job is I'm in charge of the marketing budget for 3 offices. And I am great at running a budget and planning a budget, but I am terrible at recording the details, which, by the way, drives accountants like right over the edge. So this year, after 5 years, they finally figured out that I was not going to be able to put the details down the way they want me to. So they designed an Excel spreadsheet specifically for me, sent it to me and said, Beth, just fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks, and then every month send it to us. And so that system was working out really well. So I know that about myself. I also know that I would not be good in a situation where I have to do repetitive work. If I have to do the same thing every day, same time, same place, that's not going to work out. And then I also knew and confirmed it when I went to work for the law firm, I am really not great at working in small environments, with just a few people. So a better environment for me, I was working with fewer than 10 full-time people. I get a lot of energy from working with more people. So now I work with 175 people, and that's just perfect. So assess your strengths and weaknesses. The second thing is get ready to be flexible. And by that I mean be open-minded. I say this one because I see this over and over in media, and it happened to so many people that I work with. When we lost our jobs, my partner and I, Gary, said, okay, well, maybe it's time to move on. We'll look at some other things. We worked with people who just were paralyzed. They said, I can't do anything else. I can only do radio. That's the only thing I can do. Don't limit yourself that way. You might have to be flexible. Go back and look at your strengths and weaknesses and be prepared to be nimble. My third piece of advice is to build a network. And I know you've heard this before. I know that at Cal, they have actually made an attempt to teach you networking skills, and I have been a part of a couple of mock networking events here. I cannot stress how important I think this is. It is huge, not only in finding yourself a job, being able to change positions later, but also in the success that you have in your job. So when I was in radio, thankfully I had a bigger network than just people in radio. And when I lost my job, one of the first people I turned to was a banker in Pittsburgh. She still is a banker in Pittsburgh. And she hooked me up with a couple of groups, a couple of networking groups, introduced me to a couple of people that eventually led me to getting another job. My network now is much, much bigger than when I left radio. And it is not only helpful to me in the future potentially, but it is extremely helpful to me in the success that I have in my current career. I don't know a lot of things. I get stuck on things. I need somebody to brainstorm with. So my network, and part of my network is professional services marketers, and despite the fact that technically they are competitors in some ways, they will be completely honest with advice. I can run ideas by them, and if they don't like it, they will tell me. You need to surround yourself with those same kind of people. Find people that are really willing to help you and build a solid network, and it will serve you your entire career. And my fourth piece of advice is continue to learn. I know that you're thinking, yay, we're graduating. Hopefully I don't have to study anymore. Hopefully not. Hopefully you do have to study. And here's what I mean by that. You know, there are some careers that have continuing education built in. So where I work, it's a CPA firm. CPAs have credits that they have to attain called CPE credits. Attorneys have CLE credits. Medical field has CME credits. But there's a difference in attitude. We have about 100 people at my office that need to take credits, and some of them look at it and think, okay, I'll just take credits because I have to if I want to keep my license, so they do it as compliance. And then there are people who really seek out honest education. They look for education that can help them in their niche area. They want to learn things. Those people in the long run, they become the go-to people, they become the experts, and they are way ahead of the curve if something goes wrong. If a change happens in your job or your industry, those are the people that have a better chance of success than people who are just racking up credits for compliance. So again, my 4 pieces of advice in terms of getting ready for change: assess your strengths and weaknesses, but be honest. Be ready to be flexible. Build a network, and also continue learning. And I want to leave you with one more thought about change. This is from one of the great philosophical works of our time, Ratatouille. And Ratatouille is filled with life lessons. A couple of them particularly about change, which is why I bring this up. So one of the great pieces on change comes from Linguini. Linguini, the chef, he makes this fabulous ratatouille, and the food critic Ego eats it, and he's amazed, and he writes this great review, and Linguini says, the only thing in life that's predictable is its unpredictability. And then Remy, who is, of course, the rat, and Remy is not really all that satisfied with being a rat. He's looking beyond. He thinks, there's got to be more than just scrounging around for garbage scraps. But he tells this to his rat buddies, and his rat buddies are not amused. They think he's a little full of himself. Who does he think he is? He's a rat. He says he wants to change. They think he's out of his mind. So he has this conversation, and he ends up having this conversation with his father, and he says to his father, "Dad, change is nature, and it happens when we decide." And so he turns to leave, and his dad says, "Where are you going?" And he says, "Forward." And as he moved forward, he had these wonderful changes in his life that he could never imagine when he set off on his adventure. So as you move forward from this point, I do urge you to expect change. It's going to happen sometime. Be ready for it. And I wish you all much success as you move forward. Thank you.
Would the presidential scholars from the School of Graduate Studies and Research please rise? Madam President, I am pleased to present presidential scholars from the School of Graduate Studies and Research. These students have completed 24 graduate credits toward a completion of master's degree with a cumulative quality point average of 3.75 or better. Emily Degenitz. Wendy Ankrum. John Barkley. Ashley Besetic. Michelle Bauer. Alexandra Brooks. Amanda Castile. Tamina DeLuca Bailey. Scott Deulis. Brianna Edwards. Karen Evans. Angel Gilliam. James Guffey Sr. Nicole Carestine. Melissa Klein. Francine Kubina. Jennifer Large. Richard Lowe's. Emily Marrier. Ross Martin. Carrie Marr. Lindsay Nelson. Angela Penkoski. Catherine Quinn. Marissa Rega. Bridget Rogan. Christy Regal. Brian Schurman. Evelyn Schwer. Stephen Singer. Amber Sparrow. Danielle Sullivan. Thomas Tedrow. Craig Wetzel. Kathleen White. Kathleen Wichterman. Megan Wolf. Presidential scholars from the School of Graduate Studies and Research, be seated, please. Would the presidential scholars from the senior class rise, please? Madam President, I am pleased to present the presidential scholars from the senior class. These students have completed 30 resident hours and accumulated 90 or more credits toward the completion of a bachelor's degree with a cumulative quality point average of 3.25 or better. Sarah Abramowitz. Gina Aldrich. Elena Allen. Mackenzie Aloha. Timothy Amos. Sarah Bain. David Behringer. Gail Bauer. Carly Bershock. William Bright, Elizabeth Brown, Colin Bunn, Selena Burrell, Kimberly Butler, Jason Capello, Amanda Castile, Tabatha Chandler, Allison Cheek, Joshua Chaiko, Brooke Chilcote, Isaac Christinis, Aaron Corley, Tiffany Cox, Adam Krofchek, Kembia Musanji, Suzanne Hart, Mia Zazek, Cassandra Scott, Joshua Koval, Emily Dickey, Charles Heiser, Emily Smithmeyer, Willow Studer, Michael Zandhuis, Alicia Wadsworth, David Kiss, Hannah Fleming, Bradley Harmon, Leah Deltrius, Caitlin DeHassa, Robin Diaz, Aaron Denizo, Janine Dunbar, Justin Dutcher, Nina Eltringham, Jamie Emmel, Andrew Farkas, Frederick Faust, Caitlin Fedoris, Allie Fisher, Eileen Flamini, Caitlin Flegel, Sabrina Flynn, Autumn Franklin, Gregory Gasper, Allison Geary, John George, Jennifer Germano, Jenna Glaub, Nicole Gray, Amber Guyen, Aaron Havenbush, Ricky Hager, Linda Hamilton, Ronald Hancher, Monica Henn, Megan Hettinger, Natalie Hilbert, Marnie Hillen, Jamie Hoyman, Caitlin Hughes, Wesley Jones, Marianne Kanaski, Liam Keating, Haley Kelly, Sean Clemens, Brian Klein, Patricia Nolson, Michael Kupchak, Kelsey Kuznicki, Brittany Larkin, Laura Lehman, Samantha Leshen, Melanie Lewis, Casey Lignelli, Sean Lilja, Zachary Linkenheimer, Joanne Liu, Amanda Leffler, Donovan Marcoux, Armin Marks, Cleo Meslonic, Jeffrey Martin, Cara Matthews, Brian McCarthy, Selena McDade, Gabrielle McGarvey, Laurel Miller, Bradley Minoski, Jamie Mitchell, Tara Morrison, Mallory Munden, Emily Murray, Ashlyn Neefer, Aaron Newell, Erica Novak, James Novobilski, Carolyn Null, Caitlin O'Toole, Holly Owens, Amy Parhata, Raven Payne, Natalie Peduto, Kelly Pegher, Brittany Peters, Danielle Plants, Megan Politowski, Eric Porter, Melissa Powell, Aziza Reed, Sean Reese, Aaron Riley, Shannon Ray, Kristen Richardson, Royce Riva, Karen Ross, Francesca Ruffolo, Trinity Savage, Dwayne Schmader, Lauren Schultes, Danielle Scott, David Schaffer, Sean Shannon, Jason Sharek, Jeremy Sheets, David Schaffler, Elisa Smith, Casey Sokol, Melissa Sokol, Andrew Starevich, Sarah Stevens, Caitlin Strassnider, Chelsea Venn, Taylor Thomas, April Tiffany, Abigail Turpak, Brianna Trimpe, Taylor Trombetta, Ryan Tubbs, Sarah Ventura, Elizabeth Venturella, Laura Wagner, Adrian Walls, Jordan Welker, Mariah Wiseman, Miranda White, Laura Zeno, Presidential scholars from the senior class, be seated, please. Would the presidential scholars from the junior class and associate degree programs rise, please? Madam President, I am pleased to present the presidential scholars from the junior class. These students have completed 30 resident hours and accumulated 60 or more total credits toward completion of a bachelor's degree with a cumulative quality point average of 3.25 or better. Additionally, I am pleased to present the presidential scholars from the associate degree programs. These students have completed 45 or more resident credits toward completion of an associate degree with a cumulative quality point average of 3.25 or better. Francis Alexander, Rhonda Elford, Leah Amoroso, Brianna Balatz, Sarah Barger, Jane Bean, Edward Belush, Zachary Bogardus, Melanie Boop, Grace Bubka, Amy Burnett, Josh Burnett, Kayla Sillo, Eric Klontz, Amanda Collins, Michael Komisak, Samantha Comport, Emily Conti, Andrew Cromer, Morgan Custer, Walter Deemer, Catherine Delverne, Kevin Devine, Lauren Emerson, Joshua Evans, Jessica Folsom, Matthew Forsyth, Hannah Fowler, Jade Freeman, Hannah Gabriel, Lindsay Gasper, Antonella Gigoliti, Brianna Green, Ashley Habbard, Kyle Hamilton, Adisa Hargett Robinson, Clarissa Harris, Jessica Hesser, Reginald Hill, Thomas Hoffman, Lindsay Huckle, Jensen Hufnagel, Ira Johnson, Charlene Giuliani, Ann Kennedy, Alex Kimbrell, Gregory King, Ethan Clersey, Edward Robus, Nathaniel Fix, Bethany Swan, Carolyn Slother, Laura Shirley, Georgia Nagus, Michael Klingbeil, Alexa Kostelnik, Beth Weeks, Laura Muller, Anna Fast, Carrington Kreinbrook, Lubos Kubik, Lindsay Kutska, Jenna Lepchevich, Juliana Lapik, Tiffany Lingenfelter, Brandon Linton, Caitlin Liotti, Annabelle Lawrence, Peter McNamara, Ian Marks, Connor Marshman, Julie Mason, Kyle McCabe, Justine McCargo, Rebecca McDonough, Gregory McGrail, Justin McGrew, Austin Murick, Jean Mervius, Chelsea Myers, Kansas Michaels, Samantha Miller, Corey Marks, Elizabeth Moon, Dylan Morrill, Courtney Myers, Brian Pavina, Justin Peel, Victoria Ratzlaff, Angel Reed, Emily Richardson, Samantha Ringel, Alexander Rush, Deanna Sanders, Aaron Scanlon, Stephen Schaefer, Mary Schickel, Jeremy Scott, Jordan Shawley, Lakeland Sheldon, Chelsea Singleton, Shannon Skirsha, Jessica Slavin, Emily Smith, Keegan Smith, Stephen Smith, Kyle Snyder, Linda Ortiz, Jared Safranco, Nicole Stevens, Blake Stoner, Andy Stinchula, John Termia, Ryan Tedeschi, Taylor Tiano, Jordan Tucker, Patrick Tunney, Jacoya Von Reed, Leonard Verdeau, Kayla Wargo, Nicole Whitehead, Jacob Williams, Ashley Yensick, Sarah Youngdo, Kayla Zakin, Liliana Zavala, Allison Zober, Jenna Zuko, Angela Andartes, Angela Kramer, Rhiannon Davis, Lindsay Deemer, Hannah Devitt, Tyler Finley, Dustin McVeigh, Aaron O'Black, Haley Pasco, Emily Stahl. Presidential scholars from the junior class and associates programs, be seated, please.
On behalf of the trustees, administration, faculty, and staff at California University of Pennsylvania, congratulations to all of our newest presidential scholars. The hard work, dedication, and commitment necessary to earn this type of honor are deeply commended and acknowledged, as our presidential scholars represent the highest of academic achievement among Cal U students. At this time, I'll ask everyone to please rise. We will sing the first verse of the alma mater. Following the alma mater, may I ask that everyone remain standing for the recessional. Students will remain in the arena until the stage party and faculty recess, after which time students can leave at their leisure to meet family and friends. Please be sure to join with us for a light reception which will take place in the main lobby. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.